RevTech here. Let's get straight to why this feels urgent for nonprofits, faith-based organizations, churches, and families alike. After the U.S. struck Iran's nuclear facilities, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, they issued a National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin, and it warns of a heightened threat environment across the U.S. And this includes a real risk of cyber attacks by hacktivists, cybercriminals, and other groups over the next 3 months. And alongside this, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, they also urge organizations, especially smaller organizations like faith-based nonprofits, to elevate their defenses right now. So here's the gravity of the situation. Nonprofits, even modest ministries or small organizations, are seeing 1,600 cyber attacks per week, and nearly 1 in 3 have already been hit. Cyber attacks on nonprofits and faith-based organizations have skyrocketed by 241% in the past year. And that's with over 325 million threats blocked daily on average. So think about this. Could a single phishing email compromise your congregation, your organization's giving platform? What if ransomware locks you out of your member database? What if alarming misinformation about your organization begins spreading through socials? Well, today, the battlefield is digital. And even if you think, well, we're small, you're probably not as safe as you think you are. And that's why this video is all about the actions nonprofits, faith-based organizations, and churches should implement right now to protect mission-critical systems and the families they serve. Let me share a little bit about what I've done at the organization that I work with to prepare for all of this. Well, at the American Baptist Home Mission Societies, now we aren't a large enterprise, but we've leveraged practical, affordable tools and processes that any nonprofit or church can use, and you can too. We've implemented advanced threat detection. Now, this might be a sensitive topic, but yes, even with the love-hate relationship that many of us have with Microsoft, using Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Defender for your user accounts and for your backend services, many of these are already included or cheap add-ons for the services you're already using. But using Microsoft 365 and Defender tools, we monitor for unusual login attempts, we monitor for blocked attacks, or we monitor for things like odd file access. Microsoft may feel complex, but it gives you powerful out-of-the-box cyber defense tools that you can use. And if you're using something like Google Workspace, they have also services that are involved with that as well. The second thing we do is that we have reliable backups and backup power. Now, we've tested our backup strategies to make sure that our important systems, our important servers and file systems that we have on site actually have services that are backed up locally and also in the cloud. Plus, we also have backup power systems for our servers. We also have a generator for the building, and we're also looking at adding things like portable solar power backups as well to our systems. The third thing we do is that we have app security for things that we develop in-house. So one of our apps that we develop and I spend a lot of time working on is called Ministry Life. Definitely check it out. But with a tool like that, we've added manual reporting for issues and automated monitoring for threats. And we monitor for things like harassment and bot activity, and even things like violence that may show up in posts that are on the software. The fourth thing we have is we monitor with our trusted providers. Now, you may not know big IT firms, but you may have consultants and other providers that give you services. Our partners help to provide 24/7 system surveillance through our network and through our security systems. And my IT team receives instant alerts so that we can respond immediately if something adverse does happen. The fifth thing you want to check on are the vended software solutions that you may have. And so tools like Every Action or tools like Salesforce, things like that that you may use on a regular basis. We've confirmed that our partners and providers have some kind of cybersecurity action plan. And so if you do have tools and services like that, definitely reach out to the help centers for those systems and just make sure that their risk strategies are part of your risk strategy within your organization or your church as well. And then the last thing is that we have regular threat, intel, and peer collaboration. I'm one of the members of the Chief Information Security Officers Executive Net. I also get regular updates from DHS and CISA as well. And I have a host of other cybersecurity folks that I'm in contact with. And through all of these channels, I'm able to get early warnings and insights about cyber threats and things that are happening in the digital space as well. So that's what I do, but maybe the question really is, what can you do? Now, your organization doesn't have to have a really expensive or a large cybersecurity team. Most of us don't, but you do need to have a plan. I'll give you a couple pointers right here, but I've also provided a newsletter post that you can download with some additional information, including the email that I sent out, a customizable template that you can use to help you, your leadership, your board, your executive director, or even your pastor for support in making sure that security is a part of your organization's operating plan. So what are some of the things that you can do? The first thing you can do is basically ensure that all of your colleagues, all of your staff members, all of your employees are all using strong, unique passwords and things like multi-factor authentication to ensure that the right person gets access to the right thing only when they're trying to access it. The second thing you can do is verify that you have some kind of background process in place, whether it's backing up things to the cloud and preferably being able to back up things locally as well, and actually test those backups just to make sure they're actually working. And also ensure that, if you are the one solo IT person that does the IT work at your organization, your church, also make sure that whatever strategy you have, that more than you, the appropriate people within your organization or your church actually knows how to access and recover that information if it ever goes lost. Thirdly, it's worth training and spending a whole lot of time training on phishing and how to detect malicious messages that come your way, and how to spot and also how to report it as well. We use a tool in my organization called KnowBe4, but there are many other tools online. You can just Google search for security training for organizations, and you can find a number of tools that you can use that'll help equip you and your organizations to know how to regularly spot fake, threatening, phishing, malicious emails that might come your way. The fourth thing you can do is that you can engage your vendors, and this is really important. Ask your vendors, ask the software providers, ask the contractors and the services that you use what their security posture is, particularly in light of cyber attacks and ransomware and things like that. They should be able to give you some kind of formalized statement about what their security posture is to ensure that you can be protected and you know what to do in case something actually does go awry. The fifth thing you can do is you can set up clear internal reporting channels for suspicious activity. In my organization, we have a little button that you can click inside of Outlook that lets you immediately report a phishing or some kind of malicious email to our backend systems. In addition to that, we've got a dedicated email for the organization that it can send emails to, not just to me, but to our whole team to make sure that at least someone can see something whenever it comes in and it doesn't get missed. And the last thing you can use are the basic monitoring tools that comes with the software, particularly the email services that you use. And so the two big ones are probably going to be Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace, but both of those systems right there, they have built-in systems for monitoring and alerting and sort of notifying you if things go awry. Definitely make sure that you have a way to isolate and see those messages when they come your way so they don't get lost. Definitely take this checklist. I'll have more information down in the bottom of the description that you can use. Use this to adapt to your organization and also share with the leadership for approval just to make sure that you're ready whenever something comes awry. And it also makes your team look really good, or you look really good in preparing for whatever events may arise. If you haven't already done so, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to RevTech to get more practical, informational content for your nonprofit, for your church, and for your faith-based organizations. Remember the scripture from Proverbs 22, verse 3, the prudent see danger and take refuge. That's us. We're going to be calm. We're going to be prudent. We're going to take wise preparation wrapped up in faith and courage to make sure that every place that we engage are safe and protected. So with that, stay vigilant, stay connected, stay prayerful, and God bless each and every step you take towards peace and protection for you and yours. RevTech out.